With him ticking off his been around.
The Soviets in the red jerseys playing from left to right. And I'm sure that right away they're going to try to put the pressure on. They had a good run against Norway, winning 9-1. They took no prisoners there. What will they do against the West German side? The long pass right up the middle. Homutov out there, Kamensky on the right wing. Kamensky breaking right in on his own. Taken out of the play. Niederberger eventually brought him down, but you can see how dangerous they are. Bykov wants it in the circle and he gets it. Bykov loses out there and the puck is pushed into the center ice zone. Homutov now for the Soviets. Pushing it ahead to Kamensky, winds up, takes the shot, and that's steered away, but I have a feeling Merck didn't see that at all.
Well, he did well to come up with that save. This is the big line out there for the Russians.
Kamensky, Homutov, and Bykov working well. The teams both changing on the fly here in the early stages. Schmidt being tied up along the boards. That goes right across in front of Merck. Going after it is Byakin, and he loses out. The West Germans will need all the support from the crowd they can get, and it gets tough along the boards. It gets physical, and that's the kind of thing the Germans are going to have to do to stay in this game. Pushed away is Holtzman. That goes over to the far side. Burke now. Burke for West Germany dumps that along the boards and chases it. And listen to the crowd yell every time the West Germans do something positive. Coming back now, the Soviets working their way in right on goal. Semak taking that shot, not a difficult one. Eventually that bounces out and back come West Germany. Holtzman takes a long shot and tests Mylnikov. Mylnikov comes up with the save. And at the beginning of the season in Quebec, Richard, Mylnikov had problems with his weight.
Well, the problem he had there, the Quebec management wasn't happy with his fitness.
Well, he looks to be fit today. I'm sure Viktor Tikhonov wouldn't have started him had he not been in the best possible shape for this one. This is going to be a tough one. Grice wants it back. The long pass delayed offside. The West Germans now bringing it out. Pushed up by Brittig. The shot steered away coming from Kammerer. And the crowd here really getting behind the West Germans. Of course, they didn't have far to go. This is in Bern, Switzerland.
Well, the crowd maybe has got this German team pumped up. They've come out flying here at the start.
Udo Kiesling touches that. Icing is the call, so we'll have a face-off deep in Soviet territory. Let's take a look at this. Tatarinoff being chased all the way down. The stick is out of his hands. Hilger taking no prisoners here, getting the stick up, getting the elbow up. But eventually he ends up face first in the plexi.
Well, I'm sure the West German team has been told, let's be on them, let's not let them set up and get wound up here. They're going to try and forecheck them as much as they can. The Soviets, a tough team physically. They can skate all night long. Coming over the blue line, the Soviets with four guys push forward right in front of the net. Coming from Tyumenov. And back comes number 22, Lupzig. Lupzig taken out of the blue line. Niederberger getting some repairs to his jaw. That face mask covers down to about the top of the lip, bottom of the nose area. But anything around the mouth is fair game. The Soviets, backhand side, skated over there. Lupzig pushes it forward and back comes West Germany. Just a bit too far there was Dieter Hagen. He gave that one away. Intercepted. Now given back to West Germany. The West Germans with Pokorny pushing it forward. Here's a chance for them. And Č.Trunčka, uncharacteristically, just lost sight of that one. Steiger backhanded that one. Č.Trunčka now along the boards, and the West Germans in the early stages are looking good. Homutov trying to take Č.Trunčka out of the play, kept in by Pokorny, and that shot is wide and comes out on the far side. Č.Trunčka goes in, and the puck goes as far as the defense. The shot and that somehow was kept away. Harold Kreis got a piece of that.
Mad, and that's just what they've got to do. They're not letting the Russians get set up. Shot coming from Kreis at the point. Trunchka was right there for the rebound. The Russians are lucky to keep that one out of the goal.
Hagen is right in there, giving the defenseman a hard time. The rebound comes out. That hits a pad, hits a leg, and eventually falls under Mylnikov. Trunchka, well, 9 times out of 10 would have put that one away.
Oh, he certainly would have. Mylnikov did well to get back into that goal and stop that, but Trunchka, I'm sure, wishes he could have that one back. He would have flipped it higher over him.
The big line out there of Bykov, Kamensky, and Homutov for the Soviets. And listen to the crowd getting behind the West German side. Niederberger going back. The Soviets, the shot coming right on the target. Tatarinoff hit it right at Merck, and Merck hung on to it.
Well, there you see Merck's view of that as the puck is coming at him from Tatarinoff. Holds on and does not give the rebound out.
So a fast start for both teams. Holtzman winning the draw on this one against Bykov. Udo Kiesling in there. Holtzman picks it up now for West Germany. 4 men breaking forward. The long pass coming on the wing to Hilger. Burke was there but couldn't put it away. Hilger. The West Germans playing with confidence. 5 minutes gone in the first period. Bykov flipping it forward to Homutov. Kamensky's right in front of the net. Tatarinoff. Homutov can't get onto that one. Udo Kiesling picks it up and bangs it on to Burke. Burke puts it into the neutral zone.
As the Russians go back here, you can see that the Germans are even covering them well in neutral zone, and that is where they like to wind up.
Good interception there, just inside the slot area. Chasing it is Kammerer. Tatarinoff flips it over to the far side for the Soviet Union. Trunchka takes his man out of the play, and that's dumped back to Mikhail Tatarinoff. Pass, not a good one there, coming from the Soviets, and they'll have to do it all over again. Bit of a giveaway there, and the West Germans with Trunchka missing out on Nemchinov. Coming back on the attack, an easy one there for Merck, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. It's got to be going against the West German side. The delayed penalty, waiting for the West Germans to touch it.
Well, the referee right on the spot. Nemchinov was trying to get through the defense. You see him here. He's trying to get through. There's a slash right there on the German defense trying to get back at him. Referee's arm goes in the air for the call. Ulrich Heimer, 2 minutes for slashing is the call.
So the power play situation now for the Soviets here in the early stages of the first period. Still no score. West Germany against the Soviet Union. Both teams having their chances early on. Now the Soviets will apply the pressure. The long shot misses Merck's goal. Pushed back into the corner. Kreis watching his man. That comes right out front. The rebound bounces out, and Kravchuk goes all the way back for it with Gusarov. Not a good pass by Gusarov, and they'll have to do it all over again. There's the man in the penalty box for West Germany. He'll be there for a couple of minutes. The Soviets now having problems stringing these passes together. Confirmation of the score, and the Soviets now on the backhand side. A lot of jeers coming in as Dieter Hagen takes his man out. Niederberger goes after him. They're behind the net. Passing it around nicely. Kravchuk wants it on the far side. Fedorov
Skates lazily into the corner. Kravchuk pushing it back. Pavel Buda gets it back. Kravchuk takes a shot. Oh, and how did that one not go in? Fedorov now trying to get the touch to that one. 25 seconds remaining on the penalty. Konstantinov flips it in. Fedorov getting it back to the point, and that goes over the blue line. And Kravchuk goes back for it, pushes it forward. Pavel Buda with that face mask. He's still a teenager, one of the rising stars in the Soviet Union. And with 5 seconds to go, I think it's safe to say they've successfully killed off this penalty.
Well, and they did a good job as the Russians were trying to set up. They weren't really given many opportunities out there.
Nemchinov drops it back. The West Germans back at full strength. A good move by them. Chiumanov flipping it along. Davidov now. Davidov spins and gets it over to the far side. Nemchinov back to Davidov, and he can't get the shot away. Malahov, his shot was a weak one. This one is intercepted. The break is on now. Pokorny, who plays for Cologne, kicks that along the boards. Muscled out of the play by Nemchinov, and that goes over to the far side. The Soviets coming back strong. Chiumanov hit out of the play, but he gets it back to the top of the circle. Burke hits his man heavily into the woodwork, and there's a Soviet player feeling that hit by Burke. Got a whistle on the play, and it's starting to get physical out there, and I have a feeling that's the strategy for the game for the West Germans.
Well, they've got to play the body. They know they can't let the Russians get wound up here. Malahov really felt that one as he was hit from behind by Burke.
We have a good shot of the official rule book. I have a feeling if they don't know it by now, it's a bit too late. Pushed forward. Kammerer taken out of the blue line. The shot coming in from number 12, Brittig. And the Soviets always breaking with 3 or 4 players up on the blue line. Kamensky taken out of the play. And a lot of grabbing and holding, and we're going to have another penalty on the play. Kamensky being brought down.
Well, there wasn't much doubt about that one as Christian Brittig put an American football tackle on him there. Referee was right on the spot. He'll sit 2 minutes for holding.
The penalty comes over here on the right-hand side of the ring. Keep your eye on number 12. The hook and then the hold. And he's brought to the ice. So Christian Brittig, number 12 for West Germany, is now in the penalty box. Power play situation for the Soviet Union.
For holding. Time 9:29.
Bykov gets it back as far as the blue line. The West Germans doing a great job of pushing that out with Willman, number 28, getting it over the blue line. Lupsik out there with him to help kill off this penalty. Whistle blows, and there's a hooking call on the play. Homutov skates right to the box. Not a word of dissent, and that's one thing I like about these Soviets. They may shake their heads, they may think to themselves, I don't really agree with that, but they do go straight to the box.
Well, Homutov with just a slight shaking of his head. A little bit of a questionable call there. The referee is really close to it. The puck was taken off Komatov's stick. He put a little bit of a hook on the German defenseman, and he came down. Homutov will sit 2 for hooking.
So both teams with a man in the box here in the first period. Still no score. Getting it over to the far side was Kravchuk. Gets it back. Kravchuk getting around Willman. The big defenseman winds up, takes a shot. Merck hangs on to that one as we reach the midway point here in the first period.
This is where the West Germans want to be very careful. The Russians in 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 situations are so dangerous the way they skate away from the play. There's Merck's view of that one. Slap shot right at his head.
Merck looking confident. The West Germans have 3 good goalies in De Raaf, Merck, and Pepe Heiss. And today they're going with Merck. Č.Trunčka, Semák in the face-off circle. And again, the West Germans quick to respond when that puck is dropped. Offside the call. Heimer taking his time along the boards. Remember, both teams have a man in the penalty box.
Well, maybe the pep talk from Hансен after last game with Canada has really pumped this German team up. They seem to be out there with a lot more hunger than they were at the start of the Canadian game.
They are flying, and they do look good right now. But remember, we have 3 20-minute periods. Gusarov, Semák. The Soviets now working it forward nicely. Semák is dumped right at the blue line. Schmidt put a real hit on him there. Took him right out of the play. Č.Trunčka now dumps his man. Gusarov picks it up, takes a shot, and that's handled easily by Merck. And my lord, the West German side are taking the body left and right.
Well, they certainly are, as that was right on the blue line. A really nice hit from Michael Schmidt. Perfectly timed, very clean. There it is again. Nice hip check. The Russians so quick to react, though. 2 men are down, the puck's still laying there. Gusarov managed to get a shot off on Merck.
Puck goes by. Buda going after it now is number 24, Steiger, giving it to Holtzman. Holtzman dropping it back, and he gives that away. The Soviets coming back. The shot right on the money. Buda cruising right in front of the net. Fedorov there, getting that shot away. Not a difficult one for the goalie. He'll stop those all day long. You got to head that puck for the corners, of course. Anything at the body should be a save by a goaltender at this level.
Wow, it was a bit of a dangerous pass, though. Very lazily thrown.
Holtzman kicked out of the face-off circle. Fedorov still waiting. He wins it this time. It's pushed through. Fedorov looking for the rebound off the backboards, but Merck gets to it first. .59 gone. You can see the time left on the penalties, 30 seconds and 45 seconds respectively. Coming right in on goal, they score! Fedorov got a touch on that one, I think. Both teams still with a man in the penalty box. And the Soviets draw first blood.
Well, it's right off the face-off. Fedorov wins the draw. Goes right back to the point. The shot is taken. A lot of confusion in front of Merck. He really didn't see that one. There's Fedorov after the draw going toward the net. It looked like he got the deflection on that.
So 1-0 the score with 11:03 gone, and Č.Trunčka going in on the backhand side for West Germany. Č.Trunčka being held, and he can't get that puck, and we're going to have a penalty on the play. Č.Trunčka, you could see, was held by Bякин. This is an obvious one here. He really just can't get the stick on it.
Good action there. Č.Trunčka was all tied up. Blatant penalty. Referee was right on the call.
So Ilya Bякin goes into the penalty box alongside Homutov. And so the Soviets now with 2 men in the box. .1-0 the score. Č.Trunčka in the face-off circle. Shot all the way down into West German territory. Merck puts it forward. Hagen gets it over to the far side. Č.Trunčka waiting for his teammates to get back into play. Steiger puts that in front of the net, but there's no one there to pick it up. Udo Kiesling. Trunchka. Dieter Hagen. Well, they're throwing the puck around nicely. They really do have to go forward as Kiesling can't get a handle on that one. And West Germany go back into their own zone. The Soviets, Richard, not letting the West German side get set up on this power play situation.
Well, they're standing them up at the blue line, but the Germans are also trying to force the passes into the middle.
Dieter Hagen taken out by Homutov. Bykov picks it up. Bykov grabbed by Steiger. Gusarov. The Homutov. The pass, a dangerous one, and Holtzman picks it up now. Holtzman has got Steiger in front. Coming back now, the Soviets. Steiger right in front of the net, and eventually number 3, Kravchuk, comes to pick him up. Waiting on the far side. Lots of players in front of the net. They take a shot, they score! Steiger was left all alone. And that levels the score. Take a look at this again on the slow-mo.
Well, the Germans were moving the puck around well on the side boards. Heimer took the shot from the point. Mylnikov couldn't control it. Steiger was very quick to react. He was right on the rebound. Put the goal behind him. There you see another shot of that. There's Steiger right in front of the net. He fights off the Russian defenseman. The puck goes from his skate to his stick. And he flips it by Mylnikov, who was down. 1-1 the score.
So that rebound allowed to come out. Both teams now back at full strength. Power play goal there coming from Steiger. So I'm sure that goal will give the West German side hope. A 2-line pass, the whistle blows. And that's just what the doctor ordered if you're on the West German side.
Well, that's got to help them relax, Paul. They were a bit tense out there. They've been skating hard, but had nothing to show for it. A goal and making the score level will certainly do it.
Good look there at the young future superstar of the Soviet Union, Pavel Buda, the baby face behind the mask.
According to the press and the media in Russia, they're comparing him with Wayne Gretzky at the moment.
Well, that remains to be seen, but a lot of great hockey players have come out of the Soviet Union. Semak taken out along the boards. That one is golfed into the bench area and will have a face-off.
Well, a comment that was made by Tikhonov a week or so ago was that he was better than Harlamov or Makarov when they were at his age.
Well, coming from Viktor Tikhonov, that means something. 13:22 gone in the first period, 1-1 the score. This is Pool A Championship hockey from Bern in Switzerland. West German supporters getting behind their team. Axel Kammerer gets it up on the far side to Trunchka. Trunchka flips it back in. Brittig taken out of the play. And the Soviets pick it up in the neutral zone but lose it right away. Some good stuff from the Germans. They really are checking hard. They're staying on their men and they're taking the bodies. Pokorny misses that one, but number 12, Brittig, is there to pick it up. The pass. Oh! That one almost went in the net. It's right there. Fedorov comes in. And the puck is still bouncing all around the front of the West German area there. West German zone. My Lord, they got off lightly there.
Well, Coach Johnson's going to have a word with Christian Brittig about passing that puck in front of his own net. That was a dangerous move, and he almost paid for it.
Davidoff loses out. And the Soviets blew a chance there to get their second goal. The shot right on the target, steered away, coming from Brandel's stick. Byakin ties his man up in the corner. Coming up, Fedorov, right in on goal now. Nemchinov. Whistle on the play. Let's take a look at this again, Richard. Here's the pass, batted down right in front of the net, and it almost went in. Well, did it go in?
Well, Pavel Bure with a little bit of baseball work there, knocked that puck down. Merck, of course, didn't even have a clue where that was.
That was over the line.
You're exactly right. Our replay clearly shows that. That puck was in. It happened so quickly that Merck didn't even know what was going on.
One thing you're taught when you're a forward, when you're a defenseman, never pass the puck in front of your own goal. Not at a stage like that when you have a player cruising. And I think West Germany really lucky to get away with that.
I think even the goal judge must have gone to sleep on that one.
Once again, action all around the West German cage here. Coming in, number 12, Nemchinov. Puts it on the forehand side and eventually loses it. So a lot of action around Merck. Brando, number 10, high sticking.
The West Germans are going to have to stay out of the penalty box. They cannot afford to be as short-handed with the strength of that Russian power play.
2-minute penalty to Federal Republic of Germany's number 10.
A little treatment there for an injured player. Ice pack on the wrist. So the power play for the Soviets. All the way back to the point. The shot right on Merck, and he comes up with a save. The rebound is shot wide. Kravchuk there, letting the blast go from 60 feet out. Well, not only does he get a penalty on the play, but he gets a sore wrist for his efforts.
Well, he's a competitor, Thomas Brandl. He's another one of the fine young German forwards coming through the ranks. He's only 21 years old. Good combination of youth and experience on the West German side. Trunchka wins that one. Udo Kiesling backhands it to the Soviet defense. Kravchuk getting it up. Bykov taken out of the play by Hagen. Bykov flipping it over to the far side. Gusarov, the shot right on the target. Bykov now goes after it. Kamensky misses out. Kept in nicely. Kamensky along the boards, tied up by Trunchka. Udo Kiesling is there. Kravchuk right in front. The shot, they score! Well, Homutov skated right in front of Kravchuk. Got the pass in the slot area. And that's a power play goal. Well, the Russians did well along the boards. They kept fighting for the puck and managed to come up with it. Good heads-up pass to Khomutov in the slot. Keeps the puck on the ice, and it gets behind Merck.
Khomutov came from the far side. Kravchuk was waiting right at the blue line, had all the time in the world. Here's the pass here, Richard.
Well, he one-times the shot. It's through the defense and Merck.
Possibly a screen there by the West German defenseman.
Well, most definitely he was screened on that play, but it was a good quick shot by Khomutov.
Malahov giving that one up. Right onto the West German stick, but the Soviets again pick it up right at the blue line. Punch forward, Burke can't get to it. Malahov picks it up. So the Soviets now with a 2-1 lead. Leonov shooting that one all the way around. West Germans with Burke. The backhand pass goes nowhere. Semák. Nemchinov has it batted off his stick, and that's flipped into the neutral zone. Tatarинов. Oh, a nice little pass there. The shot just wide of the far post. The rebound comes in. Nemchinov can't get it, and that's pushed along the boards to Tatarинov. Both teams changing on the fly. Fedorov letting that one go, and it's up on the left wing. The long shot into the far corner. Pavel Bure, Fedorov, left, right in the high slot area. Bure takes a shot, and that's wide of the target. The rebound comes in, and again it's wide. Two golden opportunities there. Go wide of the West German net. Tatarинov gives it to Trunchka. Trunchka goes right in on goal.
Good work from Trunchka. He comes right in on Mylnikov. Can't quite find the handle though. Mylnikov is able to cover the puck. Pavel Bure is the man coming back. A good job of back checking by him. A bit late, but he's there. Once again, you see from a camera in the sky,
Č.Trunčka doing the damage, but Mylnikov coming out to slide his body across the net and come up with the save. Brandl out there on the face-off, loses it. Fedorov shoots it all the way around to the far side. Pavel Bure takes his man out, but skates right by the puck. Pass too hard for anyone along the boards. Lupsig can't contain it. Brandl right in front of his own net again and gives it away. Well, if I was coaching out there, Richard, I'd have a word with both teams. And if I was the goalie, I'd be having more than a word. Lupsig backhands it up to Udo Kiesling. Kiesling gets by Fedorov. Willman touches it. And another whistle on the play. Getting physical along the boards. Penalties being handed out here.
Well, it looks like one from each team is the call here. Pavel Bure, 2 minutes for interference. There you see him sitting in the penalty box, and he's going to be joined by Thomas Brandl, who will go 2 minutes for holding. It was off the play. Both men had a challenge at each other. The referee was watching.
Still only a teenager, playing against the world's best from West Germany, but he's not afraid to mix it up.
No, and he's had a lot of experience on the junior level and with the Soviet national team here. He's going to be a good one.
Dieter Hagen taken out at the blue line. Malahov. Fedorov over to the far side. The long pass goes off a German defender's stick and into the crowd, and we'll have a face-off. So just inside 2 minutes remaining in the period. 2-1 the score. Fedorov starting things off for the Soviet Union. Helmut Steiger for West Germany coming back a couple of seconds later. And then Homutov picking up that goal from the slot area to make it 2-1 for the Soviets. Dieter Hagen now. Hagen, he goes forward nicely, but the times we've seen him go forward, he's had no one with him. He's got to go up with 2 or 3 guys. Č.Trunčka lost that one. Tyumenev. Konstantinov. The Soviets doing a great job of ducking and diving out there. Davidov losing control. Konstantinov takes the wrist shot. Merck makes the save and clears it out over the blue line all the way down the ice.
Well, the Russians are starting to move here, as you can see them circling and cutting away from the play. This is where the Germans want to be careful.
1 minute remaining in the period. Davidov now for the Soviets. Davidov works in on the backhand side, changes to the forehand side, and Chris got a piece of that to shoot it out. Perhaps he should have let it go on the backhand side. It's easier when you're standing here in the commentary box. Steiger gets it forward. Holtzman couldn't get a handle on it. The Soviets now with just a few seconds remaining in the period. The wrist shot right on the target again, and Merck makes a save. Holtzman wants it along the boards, and it comes to him. Now the West Germans breaking out. Pokorny flips that into the neutral zone. Not a good pass from him. 10 seconds remaining. Both teams now back at full strike. Full teams out there. Byakin losing out in the corner, and Udo Kiesling comes up with the puck. The whistle goes to end the first period. 2-1 the score, and a good one for West Germany.
Well, a gutsy performance here in the first period by the Germans. They seem pumped up, and the crowd is well behind them. The West Germans are playing a good game here. They've got to keep it up.
I see even the Canadians are sitting with the West Germans. They would like to see the West Germans with a victory over the Soviets. Still a lot of ice hockey to go, though. The Soviets now on the attack. Flipped in on the left wing. Kamensky looking for Konstantinov. Malachov on the defense. Just grabs that one, loses control on the West German side, breaking away with 2 men forward. It's a 2-on-1 break, the shot. ends up on the far side of the rink. Well, a 2-on-1 break there. Hagen, Trunchka just couldn't do anything with it. Homutov, Kamensky now. Kamensky taken out nicely by Udo Kiesling, the experienced West German defender. Pushes it forward along the boards to Gerhard Trunchka. Trunchka trying to get it over to Hilger, and the pass didn't come off. Kamensky trying to do it on his own. Going right in on goal. And a good move by Merck to come out and make the save.
Heimer did well to stay with Kamensky. He's like a snake coming down that ice. He's got a lot of moves. He's long and lanky. He's got the big shot. You never know what Kamensky's going to pull off here. He's got a lot of talent out there, and he's dangerous in a one-on-one situation. A look at Mylnikov, 32-year-old goalie, who was a part of the worst record in the NHL this year with the Quebec Nordiques.
So the Soviets now with Holtzman picking up that loose puck. Pushed out onto the right wing. Byakin backhands it off the woodwork. Going after it is Nemchinov. He's not going to get there first, but Semák picks it up. Semák bounces it off a skate. Hilger to the far side. And that goes deep into Soviet territory. Semák along the boards. Nemchinov can't contain it. Play slowing down here at the start of this second period as Byakin goes all the way back forward, and that's an icing call.
Well, there's a few scratches on the face of that Russian player on the bench.
Well, that comes with the territory. When you're out there, you have to expect high sticks, pucks flying at you, the odd fist, and of course the odd elbow. Drop back to the point. Some good defensive work there as Gusarov got the shot away. Trunchka flips that right back into the Soviet stick. Pushed away now by the West Germans, and they're going to have to take more care as the break is on. When they flip that into the high slot area, they really have to contain it more than that. Fedorov gets it right across the rink. Chris losing out along the boards. Trunchka tries to bring his man down but fails. Chris goes after it. That's behind, right in front, and eventually scooped away. Bodies pressing that puck against the woodwork. The official saying, play on, play on. Britik brings his man down with a skate. Fedorov eventually calls for a whistle, and we'll have a face-off deep in West Germany's territory.
Well, the one thing the Germans can't do is get complacent in their own
period. And the last thing you want to do is get too far behind the Soviet team. Mylnikov pushes that one along the woodwork. The Soviets now, 3 men coming forward. Picked up nicely by Willman. Pushed along, and the Soviets with Udo Kiesling, or taking Udo Kiesling out right on the blue line. Niederberger backhands it, and they're going to have to dump that puck in and run after it. Brandl squeezed out of the play nicely. Richard, there's a penalty on the play for high sticking, but the West Germans are getting caught right at that blue line. They've got to dump it in and go for it. Play a little Canadian ice hockey out here. Let's take a look at this as Kiesling gets hammered right at the blue line.
excellent hit right on the spot. Davidov does a good job right there as he takes Kiesling out. That's what they've got to do, take him out at the blue line. On the other hand, if you're the German team coming down, you're the only man traveling with that puck, you've got to dump it in, go after it.
There's the infraction in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. High sticking was the call.
There wasn't a lot of question about that one, as the referee was right in front of that. Davidov is called for that 2-minute high sticking.
Power play for the West German side. All of them in over the blue line. 1 for 3 today on the power play. Can they get another one? An easy shot for Mylnikov to Taranov. will backhand that one down the ice. As far as the German defense, Heimer gets that one across. Not a good pass there coming from Holtzman. The West Germans regroup with Burke. Holtzman working out in front of his own zone. The long pass intended for Burke. Burke goes in over the line, offside. Well, an unfortunate tip there, if you're a West German, off the Soviet stick. Caused that offside, so we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone.
Well, this is an all-important power plays. It's a good opportunity for the West Germans to try and tie this game up again. They've got to get the puck in over the blue line and get some kind of control.
1:27 remaining in the penalty to Davidoff. Niederberger gets it to Trunchka. Trunchka taking a lot of time as he gets it over to Kiesling. Kiesling, not a good pass from him. Runs a little interference there in front of the Soviet player so that Niederberger can get it up, and he gives it away. Tatarinoff flips that high in the air. It's batted down, and the whistle blows for a high stick. 59 seconds remaining in the penalty to Davidoff.
Well, you can see the crowd yelling and screaming here. There's a little bit of action away from the play. The referee having a word with Bykov. He's claiming that was not batted down with a high stick, but the referee didn't see it that way. And when the puck is batted down with a high stick, the faceoff goes all the way back into the zone.
You can see how physical it gets out there with Byakin bringing his man to the ice. The puck eventually gets lobbed high into the air and is batted down by the Soviet player. So we have a face-off deep in their territory. Tatarinoff whistles that one around the boards, and it goes all the way down the ice. Dieter Hagen wanted that one. Trunchka pushes it back the other way. Udo Kiesling being shadowed. Kiesling, a nice little move by him, but he brought himself right to the ice. Homutov forechecking nicely for the Soviets, and the West Germans having problems getting out of their own end here.
Well, Homutov and Bykov, of course, they know what to do in these situations. The Germans are not going to be able to stand flat-footed in their own end and lazily move that puck out with those two men on the ice. They'll kill the penalty off without any problem.
Davidoff, the CSKA star, still only 23 years old. And how long will it be before he goes to the NHL? Chris getting it up. 2-1 the score here in the second period. Pokorny flipped in behind the net. The power play situation here, but still not a shot on goal. Brittig wanted it, couldn't get the handle on it, and Gusarov comes up with it. Shoots a lazy one all the way down the ice. Chris picks it up. West Germany now still with some time on this penalty, being robbed by Nemchinov. 1 second, now the Soviets back at full strength. Pushed over to Trunchka. Offside is the call. Well, the score is 2-1. We're going to take a break. Join us in a moment. Welcome back to Bern, Switzerland. The face-off here, deep in West German territory. The Soviets on the attack. Right in front of the net with Niederberger. Niederberger gets it out into the neutral zone. Konstantinov, the tireless workhorse for the Soviets, picking it up, coming it out, pushing it along the boards. Nemchinov loses control. Holtzman couldn't get it. A little sloppy along the boards and pushed all the way across to the far side. Kammerer taken out of the play. He's still down on the ice, getting up slowly, brings himself back into it. The backhand shot is just wide of the target. And the Soviets now applying the pressure as Merck comes out, and they start to mix it up with Niederberger spinning around and putting the elbow in there. Semak really doesn't want to know out there.
Well, Semак had just put a beautiful move on the defense. Just missed a backhand goal. As you see right here, he's in there. Beautiful move. Backhand shot just goes wide of the net. Great individual effort by Semak there.
You can see how many Soviets are around that net waiting for the rebound. All three players forward, two defensemen on the blue line. Byakin right up there now. Still the Soviets with Pavel Bure taking a backhand shot. And Merck makes the save with Fedorov, number 29, knocking on the door. Viktor Tikhonov yelling instructions to the players on the bench and on the ice.
Well, these face-offs are ever so important, as we saw one goal already scored by Fedorov on the same situation. The Germans are going to have to take these face-offs very serious. Pavel Bure got a very quick backhander off there, and Fedorov once again was the man knocking on the door waiting for that rebound.
They're putting their three forwards right up along in a line, and Byakin, the defenseman, gets right up there on the edge of the circle too.
Oh, that's right. The Russians are very smart in these situations. They'll read the German defense, and he'll either pull the draw back or he may even direct it toward the net.
Niederberger gets a new stick, goes back out there. Fedorov in the face-off circle. This time the West Germans come up with it, bounce it forward, coming down right on goal. Lubsig got the pass over, perhaps he should have shot. Byakin pushes it along the boards, and the Soviets now back on the attack. Right in front of the net was Fedorov. He was all alone, but the pass didn't come. The shot goes down the ice. Byakin goes back for it, backhands it to Pavel Bure. Kristich now wants it, and he picks it up off the backboards. And the Soviets with lots of time to throw that puck around. Not a particularly good pass there as Udo Kiesling touches it for the icing call.
Well, both teams are playing the body.
Č.Trunčka will do the honors for West Germany as Bell gets set to drop this puck. Humanev loses out. The shot is a weak one coming from Chris. Could have made more of it than that. Now the Soviets. Davidov skates into the center ice zone. Humanev. Davidov. Still it's Davidov getting it back. Some good work by him. Humanev loses control, and Hagen dumps it into the center ice zone. Č.Trunčka pins Gusarov along the boards, or Kravchuk rather. Still the Soviets. Nemchinov, oh, a nice little move by him as he drops it back. The wrist shot comes right in on it, and Merck puts up the blocker, and Davidov takes a shot, but Merck so cool there with so many players around him. Chris was the defenseman everywhere. Have to let forwards know that they just can't roam unmolested in front of that goal. It helps the goalie too. He knows that anyone cruising in front of him or behind him will be taken out of the play. He can move with confidence. A long shot. Schmidt loses that one off his stick. Bykov. Soviets bringing all four players back. Not a good pass there. Intercepted by Burke. Hilger can't get a pass out of that one. Right in now on goal. The shot right on the target from Bykov. He bats it back, and it's held behind the net. The Soviets trying to wrestle that one free. Kamensky pushing it back to Homutov. Homutov, and that hits the goaltender's skate, and it goes back as far as the blue line. The shot is high over the net, but Merck gets back there and pounces on it, much to the approval of the West German supporters.
Well, Klaus Merck is having a good game out there, and he's right on the spot. He's not taking any chances with these rebounds. He saw that the team was in a little bit of trouble there, and he was willing to wander out of the goal to cover that puck and take a face-off. Allow the West Germans to get fresh legs out there.
Both teams have slowed down the play considerably here in the second period after a fast and furious start. The Soviets looking more in control. The shot. They score! Nemchinov from Semák. And just as I said, they looked in control. They really were in control.
12.
Well, it goes back to what we just talked about a minute ago. Those face-offs are all so important in the defensive zone. There it goes back to Nemchinov. He really snaps that one off and catches Merck.
Perfectly positioned in the high slot area. The pass coming over from Semák.
A good heads-up play by Semák. He really made the defenseman move away from him as he faked. The shot coming from Nemchinov just gets a piece of Merck's shoulder and goes behind him for the goal.
3-1 the score now with 12:03 gone in the second period. The Soviets gradually showing their class here, showing their strength. Coming back on the attack, the long pass, and they do that so nicely. They try to thread the eye of the needle as Willman picks up the loose puck and gets it over. The long shot takes a bounce. Brandl going right in, the puck is loose. And that's not the kind of thing you want to see a goaltender do as Nemchinov brings it back. Dropping it back for Semák, takes the shot, the save is there, it's loose right in front. And the goaltender, Merck, comes up with the save. Semák was right there, Nemchinov was there.
Well, the Russians doing well as they move the puck down the ice. Drop pass goes back, there's bodies in front of him. Merck does well to hold on to this one. Nemchinov was right there for that rebound as well. There you see the wrist shot coming again. It's a quick one. Merck holds on to it. The rebound is there momentarily. Nemchinov had been spun around and couldn't get a handle on it.
Pushed over to Steiger. Trunchka now going on his backhand side. Trunchka works his way and he scores! Trunchka going down the right side on the backhand side, eventually flipped it around and put it in the far corner. West Germany.
And a playmaker on this West German side as well. Great deal of concentration here as he breaks down the ice and puts a goal behind Mylnikov.
He came down, Richard, on the backhand side, took a bit of a gamble putting it on the forehand side. There was a man right on him there, but he managed to get the shot away.
Well, he protected the puck well, having it on his backhand side. The defenseman's trying to dive at him. And right as Kravchuk gets to him, he manages to flip the puck past Mylnikov for a lovely goal.
Well, a beautiful goal from Gerhard Trunchka. Schmidt, number 18, fed him the pass way back, but he did all the work.
Well, that gives the crowd something to keep cheering and yelling about. The Germans are certainly not out of this game. They're back into it. They're only down 3-2 at the moment.
Well, the official over at the bench getting some repairs to his face. Looks like he's got a bit of blood on there. Could have picked up a stick. Wiping some blood off his face. Possibly from one of his fingers. His fingers are now taped up, but it doesn't look too serious with 12:54. Tor Hansen, the referee, has done a good job in this one. Hasn't had a lot of rough stuff to contend with, but what he has handled, he's handled well. Trunchka's still out there taking Davidoff off the plate. A lot of bodies being tied up behind the net, and really that's what they're going to have to do if they want to stay in this one. Heimer picks it up. Well, just when I congratulate them for tying up these players, they get penalized for holding. Let's take a look at this again.
Well, there you can see Michael Schmidt's all over his player. He's got the Russian forward right around the neck by now. Referee sees it all the way, and he's got him for 2 minutes on a holding call. There you can see Michael Schmidt. He's manhandling the Russian forward. He's got him all tied up. There's no way Nemchinov is going to get away from him here. Michael Schmidt's not happy about the call. It's not going to do him any good.
Well, he gave Trunchka the pass to set up that last goal. Byakin gets it over. The power play now for the Soviets. The Soviets always deadly on that power play situation. Kamensky getting it back. Byakin taking the shot, and it's left right there for Kiesling to shoot away. Batted nicely by Burke. A good job so far killing this one off. Kamensky down the left wing. Kamensky stops. Kiesling skates by him. Byakin to Kamensky.
This is that danger line that the Russians have out there now. They'll play anybody on the power play, but at the moment they've got the big line out there.
Taking a lot of time on it. Kamensky coming back into the action from a sharp angle. Gets it right out front. Bykov was right there. Kamensky now, another shot, and Byakin fans on it. The net is wide open and they miss it. Merck slid across. The shot should have been in the net. Kamensky getting it back to the point. Byakin over to the far side. Burke shadows him with just under a minute remaining in the penalty. Byakin tees it up, takes the shot. The rebound is there. Homutov puts it in the net. Power play goal. Homutov banged away at that one until it found itself in the back of the net.
Well, once again, the Germans are finding out they cannot afford to take penalties. The Russians move the puck around. The Germans are in a box, but the play is right in front of the goalie. Merck's got it, but can't hang on to it. Homutov is given two opportunities before Niederberger manages to get back to him, and he bangs it behind Merck. There's the action as you see it. Merck, he handles the first shot, but Homutov is left wide open, and on the second try, he puts it behind him. Niederberger's too late getting back. That'll raise the Russian power play percentage to 4 for 6 thus far, 66%. They cannot be allowed to have power plays.
Shot all the way in, offside the call. So 4-2 the score. Power play goal by number 15 Homutov, unassisted as it came off the goalie.
Well, the Germans are definitely going to have to come back here and get themselves right back into it. They've done a good job so far.
West Germany shooting that all the way in. We have another whistle on the play as Semák picks it up. Icing the call. Bit of a late whistle there. Still, when a player goes down to touch that icing puck, he's fair game. Everyone knows it, and everyone's aware that that's what can happen. The long shot kicked away by Merck. The bounce back to the top of the circle. Č.Trunčka goes after it, wrestles with Gusarov and comes off second best. Kravchuk. Semák. Semák trying to do it on his own. Tried to split the defense. Č.Trunčka takes his man out, and that's flipped down the ice. The Soviets with Semák. Leonov skating out there with Semák, and Nemchinov pushed along the boards. Leonov now. Leonov tries to work his way out front. He does. It's loose right in the slot area, and the Soviets still putting on the pressure. Tumanov getting in there. That shot going wide of the target, more of a pass, and all the West German side can do is shoot it down the ice. Semák goes back for it. Icing is the call.
Well, that icing was taken out of desperation. The Germans are trying to get fresh bodies on the ice, but you can't change when it's in your defensive zone.
Discussing what went wrong out there. Schmidt leaves it back for Heimer. A slow build-up by West Germany. This is where they got to dump it in and go after it. They're not doing that. Buda loses out to Brandl. Pair of 10s out there fighting for the puck. Brandl again. Shooting that behind his net. Up on the wing to Willman. Willman just shoots it aimlessly into the neutral zone. Buda takes him out of the play. Fedorov getting it up nicely on the far side. The long shot deflected away Fedorov getting a piece of that. Going behind the net. Soviets really dominating this spell in the second period. Konstantinov goes back and backhands it forward. Coming up now with 3 Soviet players and a good save by Merck. Again, an easy one for him to handle on the blocker. He cushions that with the catching glove and calls for a face-off.
Well, the depth of the Russian side is starting to show here, as anybody they put on the ice is starting to really skate and they're really controlling the puck now. The Germans are going to have to try and dig deep here. That shot was right at Merck. He had no trouble handling that one.
Tyumenev will try to get it back to Tatarinov, but he doesn't. A long rink-wide pass intended for Dieter Hagen. Hagen brought down. No penalty on the play. Tyumenev starts it out for the Soviets. Nice little move by him to bring himself into the center ice zone over the blue line. Looking for Nemchinov. Kiesling ties him up. Bounce back off the boards into the far corner. Totally in control, the Soviets right now, just playing with the West Germans, showing their strength as Merck comes out and misses it. Steiger had to come up with that loose puck, and Merck will have to be aware of that. Dieter Hagen now picks it up on the wing. Hagen waiting a long time on the puck, and eventually it's backhanded off a stick into the crowd, and they really are staying on that puck, the West Germans, I mean, for a long time, instead of doing the one-time pass or just dumping it in when they're shadowed by 2 guys.
Well, I don't know if the adrenaline has stopped flowing here, but the West German team has definitely slowed their pace down. They are up against a lot of depth with this Russian team, but they can't let the Russians skate all over them like they are at the moment. The Soviets are really controlling the puck.
Kamensky tips that back to Gusarov. Gusarov head-manning it to Bykov. Bykov to Homutov. Homutov now in on the backhand side. Kamensky moving in front of the net. Kamensky now pushes it back to Kravchuk, the shot. The rebound comes out. Bykov circles in the circle. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the period. Can the Germans withstand the pressure? Pushed all the way along to Burke. Gusarov slashes at him. Holtzman comes up with it. Holtzman makes a nice little pass and the West Germans come up. Chris punches that one into the far corner. The Soviets come up with it. A nice little pass out to the blue line, and Gusarov will have to do it all over again. Burke shadows him. Kamensky looking for the quick break with Bykov. Malahov steps on the ice. 2-line pass is the call. You can see the signal from the official. The West Germans don't agree with that one.
Well, the West Germans are yelling for too many men on the ice penalty. The Russians were caught in a line change.
Kravchuk and Hilger going at each other along the boards off the plate.
The ref allowing things to just flow.
So the face-off with time running out here in the period. In the West German zone, the backhand to Konstantinov from Brittig. 1 minute remaining now. The deflection goes all the way down the ice. And the Soviets, again with that dangerous pass right in front of the net, come back on the attack. Semák taken out beside the net, pushed forward, and now the West Germans. A 1-on-2 break, the long shot, an easy one for Mylnikov, and Konstantinov comes back for it. Kammerer got a weak shot away there. The Soviets wasting time. Semák trying to get that one in front, but not really concerned with just 15 seconds remaining on the clock. Punched all the way out to the blue line, still kept in by the Soviets. Heimer trying to get it away, and he does. Konstantinov gives that up. There goes the buzzer to end the period. The Soviets with 2 goals in that period lead by 4 goals to 2. Nemchinov, Homutov shot there of Sergei Mylnikov. who played the season with the Quebec Nordiques. He hasn't had a lot of action. Merck at the other end has been a lot busier. The Soviets now on the attack with Bykov going over that blue line with Homutov and Kamensky offside the call. One of the most successful coaches in the world, Viktor Tikhonov of the Soviet Union. And it really isn't easy being a coach. Just recently, Terry Crisp, coach of the Calgary Flames, saw his team lose to the LA Kings, and one writer in Calgary said that before he's fired, he should be given a root canal without Novocaine. So it's not easy being a player, but it's worse being a coach at times. Homutov losing it out. Niederberger to B.Truntchka. The Soviets totally in control with Kamensky now. Kamensky winds up, takes the shot right on the money. B.Truntchka steers it away. Merck made the save. And that one goes all the way down the ice, and icing will be the call. Konstantinov gets a touch. And that was a blistering shot from Kamensky. B.Truntchka, you can see the look in his face, saying, what do we have to do to stop these guys?
Well, exactly. You can tell by B.Trunchka's face, he's a bit concerned out there. He's saying, look, guys, we've really got to pick it up here. Can't let a guy like Kamensky come down and take that big wind-up that he has. He's got a really solid slap shot out there, and he's one man you don't want to let shoot the puck.
Tatarinoff got that shot away. It missed the target, and the West Germans now with a quick break. They've got 3 men forward going in on goal. Holtzman was there, but it was intercepted nicely, and back come the Soviets. Leonov behind the net, spun out of the play by Kiesling. Hooking is the call. You can see the reaction from the official. Let's look at this again. There's the hook. So the West Germans with a man in the penalty box. A definite hook coming from Burke.
Well, Tikhonov going into this period with a 2-goal lead. He'll be changing his lines quickly throughout the period. You'll see fresh legs out there all the time, and the Russians are just going to try and control this puck. They've got another opportunity to extend their percentages on that power play.
Semak out there. Byakin, Gusarov. Nemchinov now. Byakin takes the shot. That's loose. Leonov over to Byakin. Byakin still controls it with the skate. Tatarinoff has a second bite at it. It's right there. That's in the net. Semak was right there in front of goal.
Well, Klaus Merck has played a great game in that German goal, but he doesn't have a chance on this one. There you see the action in front of Klaus Merck. Schmidt's taking his man out. The puck laid right there off the shot from the point. Semak was right there for that rebound. He's all by himself. There's the way that Merck sees it. The shot's coming at him from the point. First shot is faked. The defenseman spins around. That's Heimer out there. The puck is taken into Merck's pads. Can't hang on to it.
A good little defensive move by spread out so quickly. Pavel Buda back to the defense. Given away there, but look how many red shirts are back to pick up the loose puck. Fedorov gets it over to the far side.
Well, the Russians have so much depth, they can just throw anybody out on the ice and control that play. They're doing a great job here.
Number 10, Pavel Buda, grabbed by Brandl, and those two have been having a go at each other all throughout the game. Buda again looking for Fedorov. Still, it's Brandl is on him, and Fedorov now goes on the puck. Kiesling mixes it up too in the corner as Niederberger is there. Fedorov comes up on the backhand side and drops it back in the corner. They've got players all around that net. The loose puck is there. Number 22, Leipzig comes up with it now. Leipzig going up against number 5, Gusarov, and he comes off second best. Fedorov way back there to back check for the Soviets. Some excellent team play from the Soviet Union. They really do get back into the action. Kristich is there looking for that rebound. That comes right on goal. Then loose puck was shot away. That one was lying right in the crease. Merck didn't see it at all. Wilman got that forward. Dieter Hagen passed it through. Whistle blows. Tripping is the call.
Well, the Germans are certainly seeing the power of the Russians here, as they're not really in any sort of control at all. Dieter Hagen gets a lead pass here, but he walks right into Mylnikov, who did get the leg out on him for the trip.
So Malakov once again finds himself in the penalty box, and once again shakes his head saying, hey, what did I do? So a chance here for West Germany as Kiesling shoots it in for G.Truntčka. Mylnikov gets there first. The wrist shot sends that sailing down the ice. Niederberger, G.Truntčka, he's put in a lot of time on the ice.
Well, he logs a lot of ice time out there as he kills penalties, plays the power play and his regular shift.
Niederberger being shadowed there by Tumanov. Niederberger again, and you can see that they're aware of that drop pass, Richie. Hagen, not a good pass from him. He picks it up off of Trunchka's stick. They're taking a lot of time to get this into the zone. Niederberger wants it. It doesn't come his way. Less than 5 minutes remaining. The shot this time. That takes a deflection, is eventually cleared out down the ice. Tired legs on the West German side. Less than a minute remaining on the penalty as G.Truntčka gives it to Udo Kiesling. Kiesling is checked in the center ice zone. Niederberg picks it up. Well, I was just about to say, for my money, that was one heck of an offside. You can't fake the shot or to decide to do something different just as you approach the blue line. Unless, of course, your wingers are mind readers. Let's watch this again. Over that blue line, just ahead of the puck. Back in the action here, still a power play situation for West Germany. Holtzman, Pokorny takes the shot, that takes a deflection. Mylnikov came up with the save, he had to be quick to react. Hilger was right in front of the net. Got the slight deflection, but it came right to Mylnikov.
Well, Mylnikov, having NHL experience, has seen a lot of tip-ins and deflections, I'm sure. Hilger had a piece of that one, but Mylnikov was right there on it. Kept his stick and his pads right down on the ice for it.
Keep your eye on number 8 for the Soviet Union here, Tatarinoff. This is what a defenseman will do when he sees somebody in the way of his goalie. Little cross-check, the stick goes up. Tatarinoff again now back in the thick of the action with Burke. He gets it over to the far side, and the Soviets calmly shoot it down the ice. 16 seconds remaining on the penalty. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the game. Holtzman for West Germany. Can he bring them back into this one? Burke dropping that one back. The Soviets back at full strength. The long pass intended for Malakov, and it just didn't come off. Burke couldn't get his stick on that one. Tatarinoff flips that one through, and the Soviets with Byakin happy to let that one go. Chris pushes that one forward. Well, the Soviets will be happy to skate this one out. They must be happy with their performance.
Well, they've had control of this game. The Germans have put up a gutsy performance here, but they just didn't have the depth and the strength to stay with this Russian team for 3 periods.
Heimer took out Kamensky, but once again, the Soviets are first to the puck. Kravchuk Shoots that one back in. Byakin right in front now, right in on goal. Davidoff shoots. Pushed out. Kravchuk. Always a spare man, always somebody in space. Byakin to Davidoff. Leonov rather, taken out of the play nicely and heavily. Kravchuk will have to go back deep into his zone to pick this up. Coming up to the 18-minute mark. 5-2 the score. The Soviets now cruising in this one. Throwing it around as if it's a practice. Always finding space out there, aren't they?
Well, they're calm out there. Calm and collected is the word. They're really working the puck around. The Germans are just a bit legless at this point. They put up a good effort, as we've said before, but they didn't have the depth to stay with this Soviet team. And the Soviets are having fun out there now. They're really moving the puck around.
So from the face-off, Niederberger flips that one down the ice.
2 minutes to go in the third period.
Icing the call, and we'll have another face-off.
Well, look at Hансен, the coach of the West German team. He's seen his team put up a good performance here, but it just didn't quite have enough. As I'm sure he's not disappointed in his club here. They've got a lot of talent, and the tournament's still far from over.
Pavel Buro getting a shot there, just wide of the net. And he hasn't been that accurate there. He comes on the backhand side, takes a shot right across the goal. Merck was sprawling, throwing his body right across the goal. Brandl trying to bring that up for the West German side. Fedorov for Kristich. Kristich dipsy-doodling. The backhand side, the save by Merck. And still, with time running out here in the period, the Soviets showing their strength, going for goal. Malahov, again, the long pass, looking for the quick break. Kristich dropping it back to Fedorov. The shot is wide. Kristich can't get it off the back of the net. And all the Germans can do is shoot it out into the neutral zone.
Well, the Russians are throwing all kinds of combinations out there, and they're just still moving that puck around very well together. Kristich had just put a lovely move on at the other end. We haven't seen a lot of him tonight, and he came out fresh with some great moves and almost had Merck.
So Dieter Hagen headmanning the puck with coming up to 30 seconds remaining in the game. Few long shots here, I suspect, by the Soviets. Trying to get one more with Tatarinoff. Oh, the deflection just didn't come off. Nemchinov was right there, couldn't get a stick on it. 15 seconds now. Still with Davidoff right in front of the net. Davidoff takes a shot. And again, a good save. The pressure is relentless right up until the final whistle. And the Germans happy to shoot that one off the boards with just 1 second remaining. The whistle, West German side are.
Well, Coach Tikhonov never showing much emotion out there, but I'm sure he's pleased with his team.
Well, they let this one go, and there goes the final buzzer. Lots of support for the Soviet Union. A well-deserved win. Well, let's take a look at the results. Czechoslovakia in day 2 over Finland 4-2. The Swedes